Welcome to Football with Cheese. So in this video, we're going to break down Monroe Freeling, left tackle of Georgia, as we continue to break down offensive linemen on this channel. I'm going to try to do as many players that are projected to go top 20, maybe first round as I can, and we have position rankings coming as well. I got a Ty Simpson breakdown, and Jeremiah Love should be my next one after I finish with offensive linemen. But before we get into it, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss one of my videos. Share this with anyone who loves football. I cover all 32 teams, and a big emphasis of my channel is the NFL draft, so share this with anyone who follows the draft. Okay, so Monroe Freeling, left tackle Georgia. What are his strengths? Well, he is an elite athlete for the position. He is very fluid. He moves as well in space as maybe any left tackle in this class. He's 6'7", 315 pounds with 35-inch arms and 84-inch wingspan. So he just looks the part of a franchise left tackle. He has really good recognition on blitzes and stunts. A lot of young offensive linemen in the NFL struggle with that. And of course, defensive coordinators will game plan. They will throw blitzes and stunts at you if you struggle with recognition, but he does not. Because of the athleticism, he is so good at the second level. He is outstanding at leading screens. Okay, so what are some negatives? He's still raw when it comes to his technique. Some games it was just a mess, especially in the middle of this season. He only has 17 career starts. Some teams will not take an offensive lineman high unless they have 2, maybe even 3 years of starting experience. In the middle of the year, I just mentioned, he did get injured against Kentucky, so maybe that's why, but he had a really rough stretch there. Finished the season strong, though, but middle of the year, he did not look like someone you want to draft high at all. He blocks too high in the running game, which is common for guys over 6'7". Probably never be a strength of his run blocking, but he could improve there. Too many times, he had terrible hand placement, or his hands just don't seem to be strong enough. Like the defender was able to get off the block, and you've got to get your hands inside the defender's frame. You can't have it on the shoulder pad. You've got to get it on the breastplate. And too many times it was just on the outside. In the NFL, that will lead to a lot of holding penalties. So he's got to improve his hand placement, and his hands got to get stronger. Okay, so conclusion. He is an extremely high ceiling prospect because he's super athletic, because of the traits, but he also has a low floor. I've seen 2 comps to him, and one is good and one is bad. The bad one is Tyler Guyton. The Cowboys took Kyler Guyton in the first round. Almost everyone had a second round grade on him. Really talented, but needed a lot of work. And instead of letting him sit for a year or 2, they threw him in at left tackle when he played only right tackle at Oklahoma. It has not gone well. So that's the bad comp. The good comp was probably Colton Miller. Very similar size, and Colton Miller was a first-round pick of the Raiders. I believe he went in the middle of the first round. The Raiders actually traded down and still drafted him. Once again, projected to be more of a second-round pick. Now, Miller started off pretty rough in his career, but he's become a good, not great left tackle. He's a good pass blocker, just never going to be a top 5 left tackle. Was injured this past year, didn't play much. So I think that's probably his ceiling, maybe a little higher than that. But that's the question. Do you want your team to draft a good, not great left tackle with a top 15 pick? Are you okay with that? Probably a lot of teams would say yes, but you might be passing on a much better player at a non-premium position to do that. So let me know in the comments, is it worth it to draft a player in the top 15, maybe top 10 if he's just going to be solid, not great at left tackle? And I have seen him mocked as high as 6 to the Browns, which is crazy. Players that went in that range are maybe like Joe Alt and Penei Sewell, but he does not have that upside. Yes, I think he can be a good pass blocker in the NFL, but he'll never be as good a run blocker as those 2. So that's kind of the players he might be compared to if he's drafted in the top 6 or 7. So Browns, I get it, you need a left tackle. I would not do that. I don't think he's a top 15 player in this draft, even though it's a weak draft. I think he's more of a late first to mid-second rounder in most drafts, but he's probably going to go in the top 20. Offensive linemen get overdrafted, and once again, it's one of the weakest first rounds that I can remember. Consensus board, let's see. 11? Oh my God, he's 11th on the consensus board. Sorry, I just had a heart attack. That's way too high for a guy that needs a lot of work. He's a project. Only 17 career starts. He's extremely raw. I get it, the traits, the athleticism. It's hard to find really good left tackles, but that's way too high. I think some of these draft analysts just see his ceiling and see how he finished the season and convinced themselves he's a top 10 pick? Because the consensus board is the average for, I don't know how many they do, 25, 30, 35 draft analysts out there, the ones in the media. I just can't believe he's that high, even with a weak first round. Fits. I think Carolina at 19 would be a good fit. He could play behind Rasheed Walker, learn for a year, maybe take over next year. He really needs to go to a team like Carolina that just doesn't have their left tackle of the future, but they have someone to plug this year. Possibly the Bears could move up from 25. They don't necessarily have their left tackle of the future. They could play Braxton Jones this year. I just don't know how much they like Ozzie Trapilo, who played a little bit of left tackle last year and is probably going to miss most, if not all, of the year with injury. I know the Bears are probably going defense, but they have 2 second-round picks, so I could see them moving up. I don't think the Lions should take him. That's very common in a lot of mocks, but he needs a lot of work, and the Lions need a tackle to play opposite Penei Sewell right away, so I don't love that as a fit. Let me know in the comments. Where do you think he should go in the draft? Do you think he should go as high as the top 10? Even 6 of the Browns? You think he should fall in the 20s like I do? If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. Once again, share this with anyone who loves football. I'm getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers and really need to hit that to be monetized, so I appreciate you all. Lights Out Podcast, me and Mike, every Tuesday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Link in the description. Check these videos out if you have not, and I'll see you in the next one.